Dilly the body snatcher right here. It's the champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Okay, so April the 23rd at Wembley Stadium. Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury for the WBC and Ring Magazine World Heavyweight Championships. Again, lineal, if anybody put stock into that one. So, absolutely mega fight. 90,000 people currently at Wembley Stadium. Could it be extended to 100,000? I think Frank Warren is still waiting for the council permission to do that. Apparently, Wembley are on board. But that said, we have to wait and see if it's 90 or 100,000. A few days ago, I made a prediction for the undercard of this particular event, and I said Big Baby Jared Anderson will be on this undercard. I predicted that he would be, and I like Jared Anderson, and if anybody's going to take some kind of step up as far as the level is concerned, as far as the undercard is concerned as well, it would be Jared Anderson. I don't expect a Anthony Yarde to have a decent fight, or a Tommy Fury to have a fight, or and whoever else, David Adelaide in that, for example. But I said that Big Baby Jared Anderson could well do, and he has, Christian Hammer. Now, I know a lot of people are not too high on Christian Hammer, I understand that, and last time out he lost on points to Frank Sanchez. Frank Sanchez, of course, looked phenomenal when he fought F.A. Jagba. Again, that was on the Fury Wilder 3 undercard, but Hammer didn't look great. I mean, he had his moments in that fight, I'm not going to say he didn't, but it was pretty unanimous that Frank Sanchez won that fight over 10 rounds, and the fight before then, I was ringside, and of course backstage and everything as well, with where Hughie Fury, he took on Christian Hammer, and he made Christian Hammer quit in 5 rounds. And yeah, I do believe Christian Hammer quit in that fight. Now, there was a heart in the moment kind of part in there where obviously I don't have the benefit of a replay of TV because obviously you're sat there live. I saw Hughie Fury hit the canvas. I was like, hang on a minute. But then the referee didn't count. I was like, whew, thank God for that. Now, Christian Hammer, he did quit in that fight, but Christian Hammer, he has been around the block. He's been in there with some decent fighters. Arguably his best win, or even wins, could be a Erkan Tepe and a David Price, but he has been in there with Luis Ortiz and Tony Yoka and quite a few others. Tyson Fury in that, of course, some odd years ago, back in 2015, I think it was. So he's got the experience, but he doesn't have the heart. We know that much. He doesn't. I mean, he is quite durable, but Jared Anderson, very, very wild, very fresh, and of course, he is a novice. He is very young into the professional game, and I like Jared Anderson. I think Jared Anderson is certainly one to watch for the future, providing he's guided correctly. Now, I know that Bob Arum has been mentioning the names of maybe at the end of the year, Deontay Wilder and quite a few others. I mean, right now, I wouldn't bother with any of those. Just keep progressing, okay? There's no point jumping 2 or 3 levels at a time, okay? Just kind of keep to where he's going. And I think Christian Hammer is a decent step up for him. It is a decent step up. I do expect Jared Anderson to win. Could be by knockout. Jared Anderson's very wild in that at times. He does like going for the knockout. Christian Hammer, he's a seasoned journeyman now. At one time he was a gatekeeper, but he is somewhat of a journeyman now. So he will know how to survive. So as the rounds go on, if Jared Anderson starts wailing and bombing very, very early on into the... who the hell's shouting out there? Little shits. Yeah, so I think that Christian Hammer, if this fight goes a little bit deep and Jared Anderson has started being throwing bombs early on in the fight, maybe Christian Hammer could jump on him as the fight goes on. He could well do. So don't write off Christian Hammer in this fight, but I would fully expect Jared Anderson, providing he's smart and paces himself, to defeat Christian Hammer. I really would. Anyway, that is the news. Christian Hammer and Big Baby Jared Anderson will be having a fight on the Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury undercard. But again, that's good because obviously this is going to be pay-per-view in America. It's always good to have an American fighter, especially a prospect, on a card if you want Americans to pay for a foreign pay-per-view. Of course you do, because obviously the main event, and I know Tyson Fury saying how he's claiming to be American and that himself. He ain't, and they ain't going to fall for it. I mean, Americans ain't stupid. But to have a legitimate American on this undercard in Jared Anderson, and a highly touted one as well, is a good move. That's my thoughts. You drop me yours. Click thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.